Hey guys, and welcome to Bomb Anime. It's your girl
Ruka
and Big Boy Summer here, bringing you another episode of Hot or Not.
Welcome to this episode of Hot or Not, where we judge anime based off of only its first episode. Today, Great Pretender is in the hot seat, and we're going to judge the hell out of it. We'll then be back for part 2 to see if our Hot or Not verdict holds up.
We'll be looking at the creativity, the entertainment, character development, world building, and execution. So, in terms of creativity, it reminds me of Hustle and Catch Me If You Can. Those two kind of mix up in order to give me this show. And it's really well made, like, in terms of the creativity. Not a lot of animes do this, at least not that I know.
No, there are a couple of gambling type, this kind of genre of anime that I didn't see it too much, but I think that recently we're seeing a lot more of them.
Yeah, especially with the whole new anime renaissance going on where loads of different genres are coming out, not just let's fight.
Yeah, so this anime is great at sucking us into this world of crime and making it really appealing and fun. At the moment, things are pretty low risk, but they are verging into the high risk category, with them trying to scam someone with mafia connections. It makes everything more exciting to me.
Well, you say low risk, but I mean, there's people walking around with guns. These are top guys.
Well, I say low risk because, we saw him do the wallet trick. I mean, come on. And then we saw the little switcheroo with Laurent switching the wallets out. That's really low scammy, pickpocket type vibes. Even him being in that woman's house and basically selling her a filtration. It's low stakes.
Okay, I'll give you that. But in terms of creativity, there are some drawbacks. I mean, look at it. It's like Hustle. It's been done before. It's not always a bad thing, but I wonder where they're going to take this one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. This gives me a lot of movie vibes and a lot of TV show vibes that we've already sort of seen before. But I'm really loving this still. It's really fun. It's exciting. I'm loving the colours that they use as well. They just have a really good way of drawing you into the anime.
So, entertainment. In terms of entertainment, the comic reliefs, I'm loving it. It's a great way of dulling down the fact that you're swindling innocent people for their money and hard-earned cash. But it's not just that. It's the whole process of it. It's really surreal. You started off in Japan, you run away from the police, then you decide to fly to LA. That's pretty cool.
It gave me really good vibes for the entertainment value as well, because they said that episodes were called cases. Well, I don't know if all the episodes are like this, but it gave me the feeling that it was going to be like that. So they called each episode a case, which I'm guessing is a scam. So each episode I'm expecting to see a different scam. And that gives me huge Hustle vibes as well. They did the same sort of thing, each episode, different kind of scam. And also the use of loads of different people into the scams, and you never know who's on the team.
My only fear in the entertainment is because it started off so much like something we've seen before, I have a fear that it might lose a bit of its entertainment value because I'm expecting something that its aim was not to give me,
I feel like it's possibly going to be fine. Yeah, it is kind of samey. We have seen it before, but as long as they keep the content a little bit different, the scams different, do it in their own way, I'll still be here for it. I'd still be watching every episode.
So what about the characters?
For me, Makoto has a know-it-all, better than everyone else, confident vibe, but it does kind of seem earned. More than just a scammer though, he's a bit of an opportunist. We see this with the way that he jumps into the taxi to escape the cops, and on a whim he decides to go to LA, and also the way that he got on the flight in the first place by planting weapons on a tourist so that they wouldn't be able to fly and he could take their spot. He's smart and he makes sure that he doesn't spend like he has money. We know that's a really smart move. That's how a lot of people get caught when they're doing criminal activities, by just living lavishly when clearly there's no paper trail to show why they should be living this way. So I like that. But he also got easily scammed, and that foreshadowed him taking a student position at the feet of Laurent to me. And again, it reminds me of Hustle. Even if you are not a Brit, you need to go and watch the series. It's really good, even though it's pretty old now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's dated, but it's aged pretty well, so I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy it. So, Makoto is, for me, a bit of a selfish person. He was running away from the police. He skipped to LA. He didn't even worry about his partner that was also in the house. Made no mention or tried to get him. And he's a good scammer. But is he a good scammer? As you said, he's already been scammed by this guy, Laurent. And he's also a bit, I don't know, he's a bit righteous where there's no need to be. He thought that because they were smuggling drugs, he was going to put all of those guys in danger, knowing that they're scamming.
He's Danny.
Basically. Again, watch his show, Hustle. So who's next? Laurent?
Yeah, for sure. He is very presumptuous. Like, he kits Makoto out with proper outfit. He kits him out with a proper outfit, and he's basically helping him to be able to better compete with Laurent, when it comes to selling the haul from Japan. So he already thinks he's gonna win, and he probably will, because they are in totally different leagues. Makoto is very much a street scammer, but Laurent is way, his stakes are way higher. So he's confident that he's gonna win, and helps him with the competition. We don't know his limits, but from his characterization, I assume he has some limits, like, of where he won't go. He's also not opposed to working with lots of different people to keep his cover, even Makoto, who he knows nothing about, which is slightly weird to me. Like, I don't know why you would want to work with someone that you don't know. And obviously, as we saw, Makoto completely blew his spot up. But he is very flexible, and he seems confident enough that he can deal with any situation as it comes.
To me, the way I see Laurent, I think Laurent was scoping out Makoto in Japan beforehand, just to see what kind of guy he was like, and just to see if he was worth it. Because he was so blasé about the whole situation. First of all, he jumped in his taxi. A normal person who someone else jumps in their taxi, blows it up, calls the cops, gets them arrested, and then he'll be screwed. Another normal person, when they get into LA and the guy says, "I'm coming with you," tells him to take a hike and don't bother come here, but he let him come. Now, Laurent doesn't strike me as a person to take half measures when it comes to stuff like this. So, to me, it kind of stands to reason that he was probably scoping them out beforehand, just to see what kind of brother he is. He probably called the cops onto his house in order to give him a little kick up the backside.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but I'm not really seeing the reason for that. I'm not seeing the reason for picking him up right at this moment. But maybe he sees something in him that I just don't see.
So what about this mystery girl, Abby?
Abby's sick.
If that's her real name.
Oh, it probably isn't. They're scammers, so if they're using their real names with the people that they're scamming, I would say they're a bit stupid, and they don't really strike me as stupid.
Yeah, that's true. She looks capable, she looks competent. I look forward to seeing more of her, to be fair.
But I am also prepared to not see her as well, because it seems like Laurent works with loads and loads of different people, so we might not really see her anymore. We'll probably see her for the duration of this particular scam. But I don't know if we'll keep seeing her, because we've already seen Laurent work with so many different people.
World building. Now, to me, this is actually pretty easy. It's set in our sort of world, so therefore everything is relatable. I think the way that they can further develop it is to go more in detail about planning, which I think will come in later episodes. Literally, it looks good. It's solid. I mean, nothing fantastical happens. Nothing out of the ordinary within reason happens. So, in terms of world building, they had it easy, but they've done a good job, because there's so many animes out there that are set in the real world and still don't build it correctly.
I am really happy with the world building. I'm glad that it's just our normal world. As you said, everything is relatable, and it really allows them to take things a little bit further, because we've seen Japan and we've seen LA, and because they're using it as our normal world, we already have certain expectations of those areas. also slightly lazy, but I'm still here for it. I'm waiting to see Vegas.
So what about the execution, the plot, the pace, all of that stuff?
To me, it's not a new story. You know, we've seen tons of shows and movies that are like this, but it is still really done well. And I still want to watch. I also like that it's quite funny throughout, like, you've got loads of humour. You know, not belly laughter, but you've got a lot of humour there, which I'm enjoying as well. And I really like the fast pace. It helps us to buy into this scamming lifestyle. So I'm liking the way they're executing it so far.
Well, for me, in terms of execution, the plot has so many places it can go. So I think that's a plus on its side. The pace is actually quick in certain areas as well and slow in others, which is actually very relevant to the story. They're not just being gratuitous with it. Where they could probably improve is maybe fleshing out more of the motivations of the characters, because we know that they're scammers. Why are they scammers? I assume that it's going to come later, but a little bit of that in this episode would have probably made me care more about the characters, because at the moment there's no one I care about. I'm willing to watch it, it's entertaining, but there's no character that or thing that I'm caring about or rooting for.
Now to the verdict. Creativity.
It being a heist sort of scabbing one, yeah, that's a hot for me.
For me, with creativity, I would say at the moment they're not bringing anything new to the table. So for me, unfortunately, it's going to be a not.
What?
What about entertainment?
It's very entertaining. As you said, there's no belly laughs, but I was kept watching the whole thing and actually getting wrapped in the situation that Makoto was in. So for me, that's a hot.
It's what it does the strongest so far. I am having a lot of fun watching this anime, and I'm only on the first episode, so for me, entertainment is a hot. Character development.
The biggest asset in character development for me was Abby finding out that she's actually working with them. So everything else was a bit too superficial for me. So it's a not for me in terms of character development, but it's definitely going to become a hot, I think.
Well, I am going to judge my character development based off of where I can see it going, because I do think that even though there isn't that much there yet, I feel like there's enough for me to sort of start seeing where it's going, what direction it's going in. I'm gonna say it's a hot. So it's a mixed bag at the moment. Anyone can win it. It can be hot, it can be not. What about the world building?
It's got so much other things going for it. Just world building is not it. So it's a not for me.
The world building is where I had the least to say about this anime. I'm gonna have to say it was a not. Plot execution.
Definitely a hot. They did a great job in telling me what the story was, where the story's going, how the story's getting there. It's a hot for me.
Well, for me, with plot execution, I thought it was really nicely done. I'm really loving where the story's going. I cannot wait to keep watching. I'm gonna binge the show.
Definitely binge it.
So for me, it's a hot. So let's look at our hot or not verdict. This is crazy. Okay, guys, so Big Boy Summer has 3 hots and 2 nots. And I have 3 hots and 2 nots. So I think we can say that our overall verdict is that we think this show is hot.
It's definitely hot. I can't wait to see the rest of the episodes and just find out what Makoto, Abby, and Laurent get into.
So thanks for joining us today on this episode of Hot or Not.
Let us know if you think it's hot or not in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Peace.